Remarks on the bill.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Chairman Womack and Ranking Member Clyburn, for your hard work on this bill. I really wish that I had good things to say about this bill, but we have here yet another victim of the majority's slash and burn policy as they continue to hack away at the federal government and the essential services that it provides. Not only does this bill gut public transit funding, including bus infrastructure investments and transit infrastructure grants, which will lead to service cuts and the loss of thousands of jobs, the majority appears to be proud of the staffing cuts that this bill will direct. HUD staffing alone will be reduced by an astounding 26%. These cuts will all but ensure that the government will become less accessible and far less responsive to the needs of everyday Americans. With our infrastructure continuing to crumble and with housing costs at an all-time high, no thanks to the Trump administration's unpredictable trade policies, now is not the time to abandon our commitments and leave the public to fend for themselves. I don't think it's a particularly bold statement to say that everyday people rely on the safety, availability, and convenience of transportation and housing. That's why I'm confused by the majority's strategy of underfunding and establishing barriers to access. The federal government should not act as an obstacle to reliable transportation and reliable housing. But yet, that's what this bill does. It underfunds housing for low-income senior households and people with disabilities. It cuts lead paint remediation efforts. Who would be opposed to any of these things? The bill eliminates housing counseling assistance for HUD-certified housing counselors who provide assistance to working households to achieve the American dream of owning their own home. It also eliminates programs that spur the development of new affordable housing. Do we want to close the door for the hardworking families who want to take ownership and practice stewardship of a piece of their country? This bill also drastically underfunds our railroads. With a 91% cut to the Federal Railroad Administration, it decimates port infrastructure development and significantly reduces transportation infrastructure spending, which will lead to road congestion and deterioration. Unfortunately, I cannot support an appropriations bill that itself does not support the American people. I urge my colleagues across the aisle to join us at the table to craft a reasonable and responsible transportation, housing, and urban development bill instead of going it alone down this political, highly partisan path. Let's work together to address the real-life needs of the American people, wherever they are in our nation and whatever their demographic or geographic identity they happen to claim. Let's work together for the American people. And with that, I urge a no vote on this bill in its present form, and I yield back the balance of my time.
I thank the gentleman.